Okay. So welcome again, everyone. Just to introduce myself, my name is Zoran Grubisa. I'm ORC Chief Manager, and I will chair the technical committee at the ORC double-handed Europeans in Altea. Together we have Matteo, another part of ORC technical staff. As said, Matteo is much better in Spanish than I am. So if you have any problems, Matteo can answer. We will run this on English. I hope that you will understand. If you have any questions or if you want, please just type in the chat window, and then Matteo will read and we will put you into discussion. For the moment, again, please, everyone, keep your microphones off. The idea of this presentation is to present you all the technical details of what is required, first to understand what is required before entering the event, but how we will do the technical inspections before and after the races in Altea. I will start by, let me know if you're sharing my screen. Okay. I hope you can see now my screen, and we can start with the presentation. The first question is what is needed what is needed to enter the championship. There are some requirements that are defined in the notice of race. So the double-handed certificates need to be issued no later than 22nd February 2026. We know that this year, for some reason, I mean, the software and VPP and rating officer software to issue certificate has become just recently available, basically on the 1st of February, and we know that it's a bit probably later than the previous year, but this still gives you enough time to request your certificate before 22nd of February. So I was checking today. Out of all entered boats, there are not many who already has 26 certificate, but which I can understand giving the dates and the dates of the release as said. So please be sure that you have your certificate issued before 22nd of February. Your APH needs to be between 418 and 630, and flotation date shall not be earlier than 1st March 2021. So not more than 5 years. Speaking about this, here is the list of the boats that was made based on available data before 26 VPP was issued. So maybe something is changed, but if your boat is on this list, please double check it. And starting from there are 3 boats that I didn't find any information about ORC certificate. It may be that it's a completely new boat, that boat still needs to be measured. You still have a time, as said before, 22nd of February. There are some boats that have only ORC club certificate. Hopefully these boats will be upgraded and measured to get international certificate. There are some boats that unfortunately are on the list for the moment with APH more than 630 seconds per mile. As per notice of race, these boats either need to be modified or do something to get the APH less than 630 seconds per mile, because as said, this is a requirement of the notice of race. Additionally, there are boats that have flotation date earlier than 1st March of 2021, and these boats needs to be have the flotation measurement repeated before the start of the race, and obviously before 22nd February again, and on time. If you are on this list, please double check it, whatever is missing, and please get prepared. Again, I really would like to ask everyone to be sure to have the certificate ready on time, because it will also give us a time to check that all certificates are correct. And as said, 22nd of February is a deadline to present your certificate. It needs to be ORC International double-handed certificate. Next requirement is that all sales shall be measured, meaning literally every sale that you have on the boat shall be measured, shall have a measurement sticker with the measurements. Mainsail heads are set on the forestay, heads are set flying, symmetric and asymmetric spinnaker, everything shall be measured. Storm and heavy weather sails shall be measured according to the special regulations, and we will go later through this and explain requirements for the safety equipment, including storm and heavy weather jib. And all sails shall have a measurement stamp or sticker with all required measurements clearly readable. Any sail without measurements or where we cannot read the measurements, we will need to measure it with appropriate measurement fee will be charged accordingly. So it's easier, be sure, check your sails, that you have a sticker like this, that you have all the measurements and that you can read all the measurements. We will be checking that all the measurements on the sticker are corresponding to those recorded in the certificate. Pre-race equipment schedule will take 2 days on Sunday and 1st and Monday. Sorry, there is a mistake here. Should be Monday, 2nd March. I obviously was doing this from the previous slide, but basically we know that on Sunday 1st and Monday 2nd March, we will be doing the inspections in the morning from 9 to 1 and in the afternoon from 2 to 6 o'clock with a break for the lunch. The schedule will be defined by the online system called Doodle. You will get an email on the email that you are registered for the race, where you will be able to select the slot when you want to be checked. We will, as far as understood, we will have the separate schedule maybe for the boats that are with a big draft on a separate place moored, but you will receive all the information about this probably just 1 or 2 weeks before the start of the championship. When we have all the confirmed entries and the email addresses, we will send and explain you how this works. But basically, it's you just will be able to select on which day, on which time you want to be checked. So how to get prepared? You select your time. Boat shall be at her designated berth. Be ready at the scheduled time with responsible person, owner or skipper. Present all sails with the corner taken out from the bag, showing the ORC measurement stamp. Make a clear decision which sails you want to use during the championship, and have all safety equipment ready for inspection. The sails, the maximum number of sails, excluding storm and heavy weather sails required by the special regs, is defined by ORC Rule 206.1. So it's also printed on your certificate. You can always count that you may have 2 mainsails, and depending on the CDL, is defined the number of head sails and the spinnakers. Each boat shall select the sails to be used at the event up to the maximum number. So even if you are, let's say, in the last category and you are allowed to have 4 spinnakers, if you have 5, you need to select which 4 out of these 5 you want to use. Anyway, the numbers are, I think, pretty high, and I doubt that more boats will have more sails than the maximum allowed. But anyway, the sails that are selected to be sails will be marked with the event sticker, and only sails marked with the event sticker may be on board during the event. Sails carried out on board may vary from day to day, but shall remain the same for each race days. Here we have 2 races, one short and one long offshore race. And obviously, it is your decision with which sails you want to go on the race. But once we leave the dock, this is the sails inventory you can have on the boat. You cannot change this afterwards and after leaving the dock. Sails damaged during the event may be repaired. Sails beyond repair may be replaced with the permission of the technical committee. So if you break one sail, for example, on the first race and you want to replace it, please come to the technical committee with request, and we can approve the change if the sail is damaged beyond the repair. The next thing that will be checked on the pre-race inspection is internal ballast. If there is any weight and position will be checked, and we will take the photos with my mobile phones. Please just be aware that all internal ballast shall be properly fixed below the cabin sole or as low as possible, and fixed to the hull structure to prevent movement. So means that cannot be fixed and cannot be moved on the boat. Also, the water ballast for the boats that have water ballast will be recorded. If there is any boat that has a water ballast system but will not be used, then we need to, or maybe to make some way to block the use of the water ballast. Obviously, this also needs to be recorded in the certificate if it is used or not used. Okay. Then, so besides the safety, besides the sails and the internal ballast, next thing that will be checked on the pre-race inspection is safety equipment. The easiest way to check your safety equipment is first to download the safety equipment checklist that is available at events website, and be sure to have all the equipment from that list, but also please be aware that the checklist does not cover all the rules. The full compliance is the sole responsibility of the person in charge, and it cannot be limited to the safety of the checklist. Nevertheless, the safety checklist is the same one that technical committee will use and will go through you to check presence of all items listed. And the easiest to get prepared is simply to print that list, check yourself, and simply go through the list. We will go now through all of these items, but if you do it before by yourself, it will probably save a lot of time for you. Sometimes even also money, because if something is missing, you will probably need to find a local shop to buy it. And you will also spend the time and go through the check much easier and have less problems. We know that from our experience, we are often publishing the checklist and even doing presentation like this, but still when we come, there are boats that are always missing something. I think that it is really in your interest to try to get all what is listed there and to make first of all, things easier for you, and inspectors are there anyway. But if you just go and if we finalize the boat and say, okay, everything is on the list, and you are then ready to go. Before starting on safety equipment, that is probably a little longer. Is there any questions up to now? Just to be sure that everyone understands everything.
In the chat, no, but maybe somebody has some questions about
yeah,
I don't know, certificates or
yeah, that's the things that I think that the most important part of this is certificate, because this is for the first time a bit particular event. It's early in the season and we have only 1 month the time when basically we can issue the 2026 certificates.
¿Hay alguna preguntas sobre lo que hemos hablado en inglés hasta ahora? Okay.
Yes, it's a special reg. If I understood the question, the category 3 is for both races. And
yes.
No, exactly the same. No, both races is exactly the same.
And I can find the safety equipment checklist in the website. It's so you have to go ONB on board, and it's the last link. So on the TOA, and es el último de los documentos.
Sí, está en...
No el último, el tercer último.
Sí,
Safety
gracias.
checklist.
Creo que Carlos es el link que ha compartido.
Perfecto.
Y ya tengo aquí el documento, gracias.
Sí, perfecto. Ok.
Okay.
Álvaro.
Sí, bueno, nada, simplemente quería decir eso, que tanto el documento de cuestiones que está planteando Zoran como el de seguridad, el listado, el check-in list está colgado en la web. Y yo, bueno, quiero hacer eco de algunas cosas que me han dicho durante estos días y sabéis que estamos encadenando una serie de borrascas y por lo visto está habiendo alguna dificultad para el tema de las pruebas de escora de los barcos, que están intentando hacer pruebas de escora, pero realmente les está costando encontrar el día para poderlo hacer porque de momento esto no ha parado y se prevé una semana todavía un poco complicada.
So basically, sorry, Álvaro, just to translate, due to the bad weather, there are some boats that they need some inclining and they having some issues in finding the right time to do this.
Vale,
Basically,
lo digo porque el límite es el 22 de febrero para emisión de un certificado. No sé si tenemos margen, la organización, vosotros sobre todo, el tema del certificado, de poder ampliar algún día o poderlo presentar algún día más tarde.
So basically, if there is any margin in case that if you can extend a little bit the due date.
Let's put like this. The deadline is 22nd. Deadline is 22nd of February, but also in the notice of race, there is a possibility to have certificate issued after this date, after request of the rating office. So basically, the request should come from the rating office. I think Rafa is here in the call. If there is, the problem and saying, look, because of specific situation and circumstances, we would require these boats to have a certificate. We cannot issue certificate before, and then we can approve it. But let's try to make it everything as much as the 22nd of February.
Vale.
Hay margen, pero claro, tiene que ser para una buena razón. Esta es una buena razón, claro, pero
It needs to come.
Tenemos que
from
intentarlo hacerlo antes, pero
como vosotros tenéis la información perfecta de cuando están tramitando certificados y los que puedan decir los medidores, pues simplemente tenerlo en consideración por si lo veis oportuno.
Sí, con Rafa hablaremos también, estaremos en contacto y nos dirá, mira, hay este barco, algunos barcos que necesitan.
Entiendo que si un barco puntual no será, o sea, me imagino que el problema sí sucede con varios barcos porque no encuentran el día. Simplemente es que lo tengáis en consideración por si acaso hubiera falta.
Sí, lo único que digo es que cuando pasan estas cosas, lo mejor es comunicarlo. Siempre, ¿ok? A vosotros y después tú, Álvaro, nos dirá. Pero lo peor que se puede hacer es no decir nada, esperar, mira, lo mejor es siempre hablarlo, comunicarlo y juntos se soluciona, ¿vale?
Para los que me han planteado la cuestión, se mantiene el día 22, intentarlo.
Ok, perfecto. Ok.
Okay, we clarify this. Let me go now through the list of the safety equipment. I will try to go maybe faster to some, and I will put some more remarks on those items that we always find as a problem during the checks. So the first thing is the navigation lights that should be mounted above the shear line, so they will not be masked by the sails or the heeling of the boat. And then there is required reserve lights having the same specification as above, and then can be powered independently. Spare bulbs required, but not for LED. Marine VHF transceiver, there should be one VHF of minimum rated output power of 25 watts, a masthead antenna with coaxial feeder cable with no more than 40% power loss. In addition, there should be also the handheld VHF transceiver, which shall be stowed in the grab bag. I will go through all these details, and then I will focus a little bit more on the grab bag, because there are some items that are required particularly for the grab bag, and there are some items that will be anyway of this list. Then you need an AIS transponder, which shares either share the masthead VHF antenna or has a dedicated ISL antenna. Both AIS as per notice of race shall be active from the first day of the equipment inspection until the end of the event. And this is for the safety, and also even during the inspection, helping us if need to locate the boat and to understand where exactly the boat is. But basically AIS again needs to be active from the first day until the end of the event. Then you need a soft tapered wood plugs adjacent to every through hull opening. Fire extinguisher, a fire blanket adjacent to every cooking device, and 2 fire extinguishers, each of 2 kg of dry powder or equivalent in different parts of the boats. So please remind that you need 2 of them in different parts of the boats, minimum 2 kilos. A searchlight suitable for searching for a person overboard at night and for collision avoidance. A watertight flashlight shall be stowed in the grab bag. Again, I will be back on the grab bag. And spare batteries and the bulbs for both. First aid manual and the first aid kit. The contents and storage shall reflect the likely conditions on duration of the passage and the number of the crew. Then additionally, foghorn, a rig cutter, or an effective means to quickly disconnect or sever of the standing rigging from the boat, and a knife stored in the grab bag. A radar reflector, which can be either octahedral or non-octahedral, with minimum requirements here listed. Also, just for your information, the checklist that I was mentioning before, basically the first page is actually checklist, and the second, third, fourth page are pictures with explanation and details, couple of details for each of these requirements for each of safety equipment. So if you have any questions, double check this, and there is also reference to our OSR number. If you have any questions in interpreting the OSR number, you can always also send an email, and we can make a comment if something is allowed or not allowed. Charts and compass, navigational charts, not solely paper charts are needed, obviously for the area covering where the race will go. Marine magnetic compass being capable of being used as a steering compass, and permanently installed marine magnetic steering compass independent of any power supply, correctly adjusted with aviation card. Second option, second compass, which may be handheld and or electronic. Pyrotechnics, shall be provided to the conforming with the SOLAS LSA code, but basically you need 4 red hand flares and 2 orange smoke flares. Again, when there is some additional items needed for the grab bag, but we will come again on the slide of the grab bag. But basically, be sure that you have 4 red hand flares, 2 orange smoke flares, not obviously not older than 4 years. 2 strong buckets, which of lanyard of at least 9 liters, and 1 permanently installed manual bilge pump. Permanently installed bilge pump shall be operable with all cockpit seats, hatches, and companions ways shut, and with permanently installed discharge pipes or sufficient capacity. Removable bilge pump handlers retained by the lanyard. Anchors, it's 2 unmodified anchors that needs to be ready for deployment with the 5 minutes. Anchors needs to be in a suitable combination of chain and rope. So the question is always, the rule does not specify exactly the weight and the type of the anchor, but anchor should be suitable for the size of the boat. So meaning on the 40-footer, you cannot come with a 5-kilo anchor and say, this is my anchor. And literally, we had some boats that were showing the chains with 3 links so only and saying this is the chain. No, unfortunately, it is basically, we need to apply some, I would say, common sense and some normal, approach to the estimation how much chain and anchor is needed for the size of the boat. As a reference, you may take 1 or 1.2 kilo of chain per meter of the boat, plus the anchor plus the rope. So be sure to have 2 anchors, unless that your boat is less than 8.5 meters. As far as I know, I don't think that we have some small boats here in the regatta, maybe 1 or 2, I'm not sure. But anyway, requirement is 2 anchors or 1 anchor for the boats less than 8.5 meters. Life jackets, obviously you are all racing double-handed, so it's probably only 2 life jackets. It's much easier sometimes than the fully crew that may have 10 up to 15 or more crew members. But life jackets shall have an emergency position indicating light, whistle, lifting loop, automatically manual gas inflation system, be clearly marked with the boat's name, and have a spray hood. And both shall carry at least 1 gas inflatable life jacket spare cylinder, and if appropriate, spare activation head for each type of life jacket on board. So double check that life jackets have all these things. Mostly important is emergency position light, whistle, lifting loop, and the spray hood. It is, again, the complete requirement is also on the checklist. Also, by the notice of race, life jackets shall be worn while the boat is afloat, except when she is made fast or moored, or if the crew is below deck. So on the deck, all the time, life jackets needs to be worn. Tethers are famous, one of the famous items, always putting the question. So let me put like this. Tethers, can you be, as you see in these 2 pictures, 2-point or a 3-point. 2-point tether shall not be longer than 1 meter, including the length of the hooks. If you have the 3-point tether that have intermediate self-closing hook, then the distance between the two hooks shall not be more than 2 meters. So tethers shall have self-closing hooks and have overload indicator flag embedded in the stitching and be manufactured after 2000. Again, it's probably much easier because you have only 2 crew members, but please be sure that these tethers are complying with these requirements. As from our experience, this is the most probably type that were missing and that were sold during the championship, and everyone was coming with something that is not no compliance or even without it, and then the crews need to buy it. So be sure to have the tethers as required. And here I'm coming now to the grab bag as mentioned before. So the grab bag shall have a watertight handheld marine transceiver with the spare batteries as described in previous slide. Watertight flashlight with the spare batteries and bulb also as described before. Then 3 red hair flares that are in addition to the 4 already required. A watertight strobe light with spare batteries, also explained before, and a knife in addition to 1 already required in the cockpit. So this is how this is what shall be in the grab bag. A life buoy with self-igniting light, a whistle, a drogue, and within the reach of the helmsman and ready for immediate use. Heaving line no less than 6 millimeters, 15 to 25 meter long. Recovery sling. So recovery sling is the device that you help you to lift the person from the sea to the boat, which need to have buoyant line of length no less than the shorter of 4 times so LA or 36 meters. Buoyancy section with no less than 90 newtons of buoyancy, and minimum strength capable to hoist a crew member aboard. Lifelines needs to be of the standard stainless steel wire, and the NEMA lifelines are not allowed, even not on the cockpit, on the transom. So all the lifelines shall be stainless steel wire. Sometimes people are thinking that if I just have some small, if I just have it on the transom, it's still not allowed. The only thing is that some synthetic rope or the NEA may be used for a closure of not more than 100 millimeters. And lifelines shall be taut, and the deflection between, when applying 4 kilos, shall be 50 millimeters at the midline or between the two stations for a single lifeline or upper, and 120 meters for an intermediate lifeline. We can check this during the check, but they should not be loose. Stainless steel lifelines shall be uncoated. So again, please be sure, the most important on the lifelines is that often Dynema is presented, but Dynema is not allowed for the lifelines.
Sorry, Zoran, did you mention also the plastic on top of the wire?
Yes, that should be coated. Should be, so we should have it. How you call it? So,
basically, without
stainless steel should be without coating. Yes.
Yeah, that's quite important.
That's quite important. Good, thank you. Jack stays shall be independent on each side of the deck, enable the crew member to move readily between the working areas, and have a braking strength of 2040 kilos. So shall be on each side. Is the Dynema allowed for the jack stays? Yes, because it's wire of minimum diameter, webbing, or HMP rope. So the answer will be yes. Clipping point shall be adjusted to stations such as helm, sheet, winches, and mast where the crew member work. Enable crew member to clip on before coming on the deck and unclip after going below. Now we come to the storm and heavy weather sails as mentioned before. So what is required? One is required heavy weather jib, area not greater than 13.5% height of the 4 triangle square. Basically, this area is reported on the certificate. It needs shall be readily available means independent of the love groove to attach to the stay. And again, storm jib as such is not required, but obviously storm jib is smaller than heavy weather jib. If you have a storm jib, it will be comply also having as a heavy weather jib. Both storm sails needs to be measured as the storm sails as required by the special regs, and also needs to be measured. Many times boats are presenting the storm sails without any measurement, and if we don't know the measurement, we don't know the area, and we don't know if the sail comply or does not comply with the rule. So be sure that you have your heavy weather sails and storm sails measured. For the trysail, there are two options. One is storm trysail with no headers, no buttons, no headboard, no buttons, or mainsail reefing to reduce the luff by at least 40%. Reducing the luff by at least 40% is second or sometimes even third reef. And if you have the main sale that you say that will be reefed, we also need to check if the reef is on that height. Very often, it's quite a lot of reefing, and very often the sails are not designed and may not pass this requirement for 40%. So I would say that probably sometimes it's easier to get proper trysail. Trysail material of the body of the storm sails after 2013 shall be highly visible color, they glow pink, orange, or yellow. So again, this is something that we found that was all the time missing, or either this 40% is not enough, or the sails are not measured. And please be sure that you have all the sails ready and measured before coming to the championship. Emergency tiller is needed, capable to being fitted to the rudder stock, except so when the principal method is by means of unbreakable metal tiller. When there are two methods of controlling the rudder, neither of which shares components with the other except for the rudder stock.
Sorry, Zoran, a question from
Yes.
Alvaro.
Yeah.
Zoran, one question.
Yeah.
I think that the people have question about the jeeps. If possible, Matteo can explain that the other about the jeeps, about the storm sails. Mateo, ¿nos puedes explicar esa un
Sí,
poco?
no. ¿Cuáles son las preguntas? ¿Hay unas preguntas en particular o...?
Sí, a ver, me están llegando preguntas. A ver, me cuestionan, por ejemplo, ¿puedes preguntar si es obligatorio que la lista de material de seguridad Tormentín, a ver, en la lista de material de seguridad, el Tormentín y el foque de viento duro o solo el foque de viento duro?
Es el storm. Yeah, go.
If I understood question, the question is do you need heavy weather jeep and storm jeep? So the answer is you need a heavy weather jeep, but if you have storm jeep, it can work as a heavy weather jeep. If I understood correctly, please
Yeah,
correct me.
no, es correcto. Sí, es correcto.
Yeah.
Vale, me pregunta también si hay que medir el foque de viento duro, me dicen.
Sí, claro. Sí.
Vale, esa pregunta de Paju. ¿Alguno más? Podéis preguntar vosotros mismos, chicos. No hace falta que me acribilléis aquí.
Vale. En la chat, si no queréis hablar.
También.
La pregunta en la chat o...
¿Sustituye una mayor de capa?
Vale, me preguntan también, lo está preguntando...
¿3 rizos en la mayor sustituyen a una mayor de capa?
Sí, pero hay... se tiene que reducir el 40%.
Ok.
Entonces, estos son normal, sí, del LAF. Estos son, imagino que a veces son tres rizos. No todas las velas tienen esta. Entonces, puede ser con una mayor de capa va a solucionar el problema. Pero sí, con el 40% sí, se puede utilizar.
Muchas gracias.
Nada.
Okay.
Otras cosas con las velas de seguridad, o está bastante claro.
No,
otra cosa, yo pues, porque ahora claro, estamos hablando y a veces no nos salen las preguntas, las dudas. Lo que he puesto en la chat es el correo events@org.org, que este es el grupo de eventos de ORC. Yo, Zoran y otra gente. Si hay preguntas, dudas, después podéis enviarnos, preguntar, mira, tengo este barco, no sé cuántos foques puedo llevar y no sé qué, con cualquier cosa que sea de seguridad.
¿Una pregunta puedo hacer? ¿Puedo?
Sí, claro.
Lo de grab back, que es poner lo que teníamos antes en otra bolsa, o sea, un duplicado.
Sí, es un bolso que tú aguantas cuando tienes que dejar el barco, o es un lugar donde tú tienes algunas cosas que son fundamentales para ti. seguro que hay live raft con estas cosas dentro, pero el grab bag es algo que se añade a la live raft.
¿Hay que llevarlo o no? Aparte de todo lo que llevamos.
Sí, claro.
O sea, otro VHF, otro...
Exacto. Mira, si tú miras...
Dime.
Si tú miras en el PDF que hay en la página web de Altea, hay, cuando se habla de grab bag, se habla del VHF y en rojo hay escrito mismo que lo del 3.29.1, que significa que si tú miras cuando se habla de VHF, antes, este es el mismo VHF que tendría que estar ahí dentro. La misma cosa es para la luz, cuando se habla de la luz de la flashlight, se llama watertight flashlight, resistente al agua, dice same one from, la misma del punto 4.07. Hay algunos elementos que se repiten, ¿ok? Y que se tienen que poner en el grab bag, que es VHF, la luz, las bengalas, exacto, 3 bengalas.
O sea, que tengan
Esta pero...
dos VHFs, 2 juegos de bengalas, 2 bocadillos, porque la cosa...
bocadillo, sí.
No.
Eso,
Vale.
Y también hay un cuchillo.
Mateo.
Hay un chiflete. Dime, Álvaro.
Mateo.
Sí.
No,
Fernando,
soy Fernando. Disculpa que te interrumpa. Cuando tú dices the same, no significa que tenemos que llevar 2 iguales, ¿sí? O sea, cuando tú hablas de la flashlight, y del VHF de mano,
son
¿sí?
lo mismo.
Es el mismo. Correcto. No tenemos que llevar un VHF fijo más 2 de mano. Eso como en el Mundial que pasó, que también hubo confusión ahí.
Sí, imagino, claro.
Okay.
Decimos que esto de la grab bag, es un punto un poco que World Selling lo está trabajando, porque hay algunas cosas que se repiten y que confunden. Sabemos que ahora World Selling con todos los feedbacks de ORC y de otras regatas están un poco modificando esta grab bag, porque a veces no se entiende dónde tengo que poner el VHF, se lo tengo fuera, después lo tengo que poner en la grab bag, si tengo uno fuera y uno en la grab bag, y como dice Fernando, no se sabe si es uno o son 2, uno fuera,
correcto.
Uno dentro. Exacto.
Y el flashlight estanco es uno solo. A bordo, digamos, a bordo puede haber 150 flashlight, pero obligatorio por ORC es uno solo estanco, que puede estar en el drag bag o en un armario, digamos.
Sí, hay un flashlight, se llama, que es uno para menos potente, y después hay el searchlight, que esto es la luz la más potente para ver si...
correcto.
Para buscar a alguien que está en el agua, para entendernos.
Correcto.
Y las características están ahí, que hay un mínimo se llama IP67, que es todas estas cosas. ¿Ok?
Bien,
I understood that grab bag is still putting lots of questions, but
yes, it's a little bit.
follow the form, and it's written what is in addition and what is already in the rule. So I think that we clear this up. Okay, let me see. So what we had, the last one, the last one, emergency tiller, we discussed. Yeah.
So sorry, Luis.
Yeah.
¿Tienes otra pregunta o no? 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 Bien, okay. Zoran, sorry, there is a question de Eduardo Gallego, la prueba de estabilidad, de stability.
Yes.
He's talking about European 5 years and a national 10 years. I guess
we are talking about 5 years as per notice of race, and it is clearly that in the notice of race cannot be older than 25 years.
Okay, so 5 años europeos, the national nacionales. I think it's a Spanish specific
It's very
request.
specific and it
Sí.
was also discussed, but for this
Okay.
it's only 5 years. Yeah.
Okay. Thanks.
Okay.
¿Puedo
Life
hacer una pregunta más, Mateo? Si no me quedó claro.
¿Te va a costar, Fernando?
Bueno,
Te
pago.
vamos, te vamos
no hay
a
ningún
cobrar.
problema.
Paga,
No hay ningún
vale,
problema.
Vale, dale.
For the sales, the measurement of the sales, doesn't matter the age of the measurement, or we have a minimum years like the
No,
stability,
no.
5 years.
No, there is no. It can be measured wherever it can be old. Even though I'm always saying that it's maybe good to remeasure the sale because you can get little bit less scratch, better ratings, but it's up to you. But there is no requirement of the year when the sales are measured.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. The last, but not least, the item is always most important is a life raft. So a life raft complying with ISO 9652, what does this mean that OSR 40.20.3E does not apply? Is the one that allows you for boats with serious date earlier than some days to be even in the boat, but since you are only in the 2 persons, we need to have life raft on the deck to be completely sure. And life raft can be either a rigid container securely stowed in the working deck or in the cockpit, or if it's valise soft type bag, then it's allowed only it's securely stowed in a dedicated watertight locker in the cockpit. So this is always the question. The life raft shall be either in the hard case, rigid container. If valise, there shall be the dedicated watertight locker cockpit, and life raft should always cannot be inside the boat. Hope this is clear.
Actually, there is a question from Manuel.
Yeah.
Asking if it can be stored inside the boat, and the answer is absolutely not.
Absolutely no. Yeah. This is.
Otras preguntas sobre la life raft. No, todo claro.
Okay. Any questions now about the safety equipment, because we finished the list before we.
There
Yes.
is a
What about
question
life
about Eve.
Yeah.
What's your question?
Yo tengo una pregunta más, Mateo, si
Yes,
se puede,
sorry.
si no me corta.
Ok, Fernando, espera, vamos con Eve.
Sí,
Yeah, so
gracias.
our soft bag life raft, so it's in a bag. It's located in the lash behind the helmsman. This is a watertight area.
Locker, yes.
Locker.
But
Yes.
it's also the so it has in our case it has 3 hatches, and we are using the middle hatch dedicated for the life raft. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But it has access to the rudder stalk, etc., to the water ballast system. So it's not an area dedicated for the life raft solely. But
well, let's put it this way. You shouldn't have like the broom,
I can pick it out straight away.
I mean, you need just to have like a clean place. If there are other things inside it and it's pretty tidy, it's okay. But definitely you cannot have this amongst other items covering and making this hard to.
Bottom line is,
I was just wondering about the word dedicated.
Well,
it is.
You can,
I mean,
the space can be shared, but obviously depends what you have inside. The meaning is it has to be very easy to take it out without dragging other stuff or getting caught or maybe cut it.
Exactly.
So,
okay, thank you.
Yep, you're welcome.
I mean, bottom line is really checking if you can easily take it out, and if you can easily take it out without any other obstructions, then it's not a problem.
Okay. And Fernando?
No, ya está resuelto, gracias.
Perfecto.
Okay. So this is, by this we completed the safety equipment, and then we go to explain you what we will check after the racing. So another question is.
Oh, there is another question. If there is no locker, well, it has to be like a rigid container. It cannot be a soft valise.
They cannot be soft. That's the answer. Yeah. So after the racing, and sorry, maybe I skip one thing, but before the racing we will check the crew weights. Since you basically have only 2 crew members, it's much easier, and you will check your crew weight before the race. Please be sure that your crew weight is properly declared in the certificate. You can declare it in the range of 120 to 300 kilos. If we find something, we can still adjust the certificate, but better for you to check before the start. After the race, we are checking. We have 2 races, so we are checking after the race. On the first boat in each class, we are checking flotation, and on the second boat in each class, we are checking the sails. The largest of sails, the mainsail, headset set on the forestay, symmetric, spinnaker, asymmetric, and all headset set flying. Again, knowing that this is long distance or offshore races, it's not like when we have the windward leeward or something, or some short races. Obviously, first of all, we need to see the results, and then depending on the time, we will decide when and how we will make these checks. On a short offshore race is probably a bit easier, but on a long offshore race, obviously, we do not want to jump on you and to empty your boat immediately after you cross the finishing line. We can give you some time, and we can arrange a time that fits, obviously, depending on the situation, depending on the duration of the race. But we will definitely, and also if needed, technical committee members will help you, to put some things out and or before the measurement starts. So if the technical committee finds that the boat do not comply with ORC rating rules, it shall protest the boat, and it may protest the boat for any infringement of the special regs. Flotation check will start with the freeboards. If we run with the freeboards measurement, we run test certificates, and then we compare the APH with one that is on the certificate. If the difference is less than 0.1%, the boat will be considered compliance. If the difference is greater, then we continue with inclining test and to run the new certificate. If the difference is still greater than 0.1, the technical committee will protest the boat. The ORC rule 305 defines you 4 steps of checking. Basically, whenever we do some check, we rerun the test certificate with the new measurements coming from the check. And step 1, if the difference is less than equal 0.1%, everything is okay. This is the tolerance within the rating that is acceptable. If the difference is more than 0.1 but less than or equal to 0.25%, there is no penalty, but the race will be rescored with the new numbers, with new certificate. If the difference is more than 0.25 but less than 0.40, a boat then receive a scoring penalty, shall be 50% of the score for DNF, and new certificate is issued, and again the races will be recalculated. If the difference is more than 0.40%, the boat is disqualified, and the boat cannot even continue to race until she is put in compliance with certificate. I sincerely hope that this will not be needed, but this is for you just to know the steps how we are doing on the checks after the race. Since there is double-handed certificate, both the crews that are already registered we shall not be changed except in the case of injury or illness with the written permission of the technical committee. So basically, the crew that is registered on day one should sail both races, unless in some special cases where we can approve it. Equipment changes is not allowed unless authorized by the technical committee. So as said, also for the sails, if their sails are damaged, we can approve it. If there is any damage on the boat, on equipment, a request for submission shall be made at the first reasonable opportunity. If the sails is included, then the sense shall be presented that we can see that sail is damaged beyond repair. And any questions for the final? Good.
Preguntas, dudas, cualquier cosa para nosotros, para Álvaro, para, no sé, Rafa.
Sí, yo no sé si lo dijeron, yo me conecté un poco más tarde, pero ¿van a asignar turnos para las inspecciones de los barcos antes de la regata, el 1 y el 2?
No, hay un link que vamos a enviar a 2 semanas de cuando comience la regata. Es un sistema de booking para tu espacio para la inspección. Y tú puedes escoger el día y la hora. Y claro, normalmente estas inspecciones son bastante rápidas porque las regatas 2, la gente normalmente mucho más preparada. El importante es que si yo tengo el booking, la cita el lunes, no sé, a las 9, a las 9 tengo que tener todas las velas en un lugar con los measurement stickers out, fuera, que sea fácil identificar y mirar si esta es la vela que está en el certificado. Y la seguridad, no hay, no vamos a reinventar nada. El PDF, yo voy, Zoran y los otros medidores, salimos en el barco y empezamos a preguntar, ¿me puede enseñar las luces? ¿Me puede enseñar el VHF? Es el mismo listado. Entonces, si vosotros preparáis las cosas en orden así, va a ser muy rápido y muy fácil. Pero sí, el link lo vamos a enviar a cada skipper de cada barco y después vosotros podéis escoger el horario y el día, ¿vale? O lo que queda, claro. Se tiene que hacer bastante... ¿Está bien, Fernando? ¿Luis?
Sí, perfecto. Muchas gracias.
Nada.
No, perdón.
Yeah, no, I would like.
¿Qué sería el día?
Can I share the screen there is someone else. Can I share the screen to show something to help?
You wanna? Okay, let me see. I don't think you have the rights to. Let me see.
But okay, what's the question about? Just
what's the question exactly?
It's difficult. It's difficult for me to explain it because you show.
Please then send by email, and then we can then answer.
Okay, we'll do it by email. Thank you.
Yeah, we can partly. Just to answer these two more questions that are posted in the chat. The AIS must be active from the first day of equipment inspection. If you arrive Sunday night from Barcelona, could we activate the AIS from? Yes, basically you can activate from the moment when you come, but also while you are sailing to Altea, you can also have it online, because this is also even helping us to understand if we are waiting for you to know when we may expect you to run in Marina. So I don't think it's a problem to have it all switched on even while you are sailing to Altea.
No, the boat is already in Altea. It's that we are traveling by car. I have I have a wedding on Saturday, so if I skip the wedding, I get divorced, you know. So
Okay.
I have
Well,
to
think
mix
about
wedding
it.
and life balance, you know.
Permission granted. Okay.
That's a good reason.
So,
Okay.
sorry, I could share the screen. I was going to ask if that one is possible to use, because this is the one different than the one you show, because you show it
No,
with 3.
this is the incorrect one. It should have 3 carabines, because unless there is an exception, obviously. If you have a life jacket and you loop it, you know, let's say the loop without the carabine, you loop it into your life jacket, and you have one of those quick release system like the spin lock type, that's okay. But if this is fixed to your life jacket, so you cannot release yourself, it cannot be used. So this is the one that the 2 meters with the, let's say, the intermediate strap, 1 meter, but it has to have like 3 carabines if you don't have the type of life jacket with a quick release system. Yeah, but I mean, you can find another carabine, and actually you could modify this with a proper carabine. I mean, one of those you know, fancy that are already there, by looping it. But yes, that's your answer.
Okay, thank you. Clear.
No problem.
Thank you.
Alvaro, are you muted, Alvaro?
You are all muted.
Sorry. Manuel Moreno have a question about the groups.
Yes, I was about to answer this question. So the class are defined as such, and just for you to explain you why there is a bigger gap between in the class A and the class B. I mean, these class limits are decided last year or 2 years, even 2 years ago, 24 for 25. Based on the analysis of the fleet that has participating on the double-handed championship so far in the last 5 years. The class A, the gap is big only to allow, you know, extreme, I would say, in both class A and class C, to allow the boats that are on the extreme ends and that are frankly not expected to be many. Like a couple of years ago, we had the TP52 sailing in a double-handed configuration, and that's the only that was only adjusted to accommodate this type of the boats, and similar is on the class C. On the other hand, we know that with the weather routing scoring that we are planning, basically it's almost doesn't matter, because every boat is rated, and rated is calculated with the weather forecast in its own condition. And also, we know that there will be overall trophy where all the boats will be scored together. So I think that this is for the moment we cannot, since this is announced, and the boats are not which classes are entering, we cannot change this now.
So a question from
this,
Antonio, if it's compulsory to wear the life jacket during the whole regatta?
Yes, it is written, or when you are on the deck, or only when the boat is on the mooring, or when the crew is below the deck. On the deck, yes.
So Antonio, yes.
Yeah.
Obviously not inside. Okay. Any other question?
No.
Would you mind to share the slides you showed? Okay, so
one raise the hand. Yeah.
Thomas would like to have the presentation shared. Is it possible to give the link?
Yes, we can post the presentation. We can post the presentation on the event website. And as said, we are recording this, and we can give the link on YouTube after the meeting.
So, Álvaro, vas a postar el link del recording, ¿no? Del meeting. Estás en muto.
Sí, me gustaría, si podemos...
Sí, te lo vamos a enviar y después tú lo vas a... ¿Tienes un listado de la gente que... Imagino que sí, ¿no?
No he podido sacar un listado, he visto que hemos llegado hasta 63 personas, ahora están 56, me imagino que en la grabación podremos ver las personas que están. De todas formas, lo haremos público en la web para todos.
Vale, perfecto. Entonces, Thomas, you will have... the link will be on the website, the Altea website.
Oh, perdón.
Yeah.
Sí.
Together, we can put also PowerPoint presentation.
Luis.
Sí, si de la lista de seguridad, si al final algo no llega a tiempo, ¿se podría salir a la regata?
¿Qué significa algo no llega a tiempo?
Por ejemplo, el back,
el tormentín herido,
¿Por qué? ¿Estáis esperando algo o...?
Pues casi todo, pero no, está todo medido, pero nos falta el medir las velas, que no sabía que había que medirlas, el tormentín y el...
Vale, eso es fácil, se soluciona fácil.
Ahí para medir, pero yo me voy mañana a Cabo Verde a una regata muy importante, que es el carnaval de Cabo Verde, entonces... I'm joking.
Muy bien.
Muy bien, ya lo sé. En el caso de que faltara algo, si faltara algo, imagino que no podemos salir.
Esta pregunta, no sé, si te falta algo, significa que tendremos un problema. El listado lo tenéis desde bastante tiempo. Las velas se pueden medir, yo imagino, bastante rápidamente. Si te vas a Cabo Verde, me alegro para ti, pero si te dejamos salir que te falta algo, es una falta de respeto a todos los otros. Seguro que lo vas a solucionar, Luis, no te preocupes.
Luis no, yo soy Miguel. Luis es el mayor.
Entonces tienes que poner Luis y Miguel.
Pajorín.
Vale, perfecto. Gracias, Miguel.
Encantado.
Vale.
Gracias.
What is the last question?
Can you share your email address?
Yes.
It's events@orc.org.
Yeah.
So this email is the group that is dedicated to this regatta, the regattas in general, ORC official regatta. I'd meet one guest late, but better late than never.
What was the last question on the Spanish? Podéis pasar también el documento. Was this the question?
The presentation. The presentation.
The presentation. I will send to Álvaro so can be posted on the website.
Antonio, sí.
Okay, so I think we are more or less. I hope that this was useful for everyone. Again, please just simply consult for the safety equipment safety checklist, and as said, you will make your life easier and also our life easier. Please be sure that you have all the sales measured with the stickers, and please be sure that you have certificates issued with the deadline. If you have any problem, any questions, you can always send us an email. And really, I'm looking forward to see you all in Altea in about 3 weeks.
Ok. Vale, perfecto. Si no hay otras preguntas,